Nature sometimes appears to forget how its own physics work. In rare instances, localized wind updrafts can become so powerful that they catch the flow of a waterfall, forcing the stream straight up into the sky instead of letting it reach the basin below. These glitches occur in the freezing rivers of the north as well, where the current carves out massive, perfectly circular disks of ice that spin endlessly on the water's surface. There are biological anomalies too, like the tree of life in Washington state. It remains green and vibrant despite its entire root system hanging over a hollowed-out void, seemingly anchored to nothing but the air. We navigate our daily lives relying on the basic laws of physics and biology to remain rigid. We expect water to fall, ice to form in static sheets, and plants to stay rooted in the soil. But when specific environmental variables align at exactly the right moment, they override that predictability. They create the 1 in a billion illusions that make reality itself look broken. Take these lenticular clouds. Despite forming in areas with high-velocity winds, they hover completely motionless over mountain peaks, looking like static UFOs. This happens when high humidity meets strong horizontal airflow. As the wind hits the mountain, it's forced upward, where it cools and condenses. The air keeps moving through the formation, but the point of condensation stays fixed, creating a stationary disk. That same geometric precision is what creates the spinning ice disks found in winter rivers. Driven by unseen underwater vortexes, temperature differentials and river bends create a swirling current beneath the ice. As it spins, friction against the shoreline acts like a lathe, grinding the edges into a flawless circle. What looks like a magical suspension of physics is actually fluid dynamics operating with absolute perfection under highly constrained conditions. Environmental factors also manipulate the way sound waves travel. In Montana, frozen lakes produce sharp, echoing noises that sound exactly like sci-fi laser blasters. This glitch is caused by acoustic dispersion, where a physical medium separates sound waves by frequency. When the lake's ice expands and cracks from temperature shifts, the sound travels through the ice sheet. Because high-frequency sound moves faster through ice than low-frequency sound, the high pitch reaches the listener first, followed by lower tones, creating a distinct pew-pew effect. We hear a different version of this in the Gobi Desert, where the massive sand dunes generate a constant, mesmerizing hum. Continuous wind pushes a specific layer of sand and shale to shift all at once. The friction of billions of grains sliding together creates a low-frequency resonance that sounds like a choir or a distant engine. The Earth doesn't just look unrecognizable under extreme variables. It generates entirely unique auditory frequencies that we rarely have the chance to hear. Biology has its own rules that life manages to subvert. We return to the tree of life, which has survived decades of coastal erosion. Typically, a Sitka spruce requires deep soil to anchor its massive weight and absorb nutrients. This tree thrives despite its roots hanging over a void, proving that life can adapt to even the most unstable environments. Collective biology creates illusions too. Honeybees ward off predators using shimmering waves, where thousands of individuals flip their abdomens in synchronization to create a rippling metallic visual that confuses attackers. Similarly, harvestmen cluster together by the hundreds. By tangling their impossibly long legs, they mimic the look of a single, large, pulsing organism to deter anything that might try to eat them. Living organisms will contort, they fuse together, and bend biological norms to ensure their collective survival. These glitches aren't actually breaking nature's rules. They are the rules operating at their most extreme and violent edges. At Kilauea, a 2,000-degree wall of lava moves with a weight that effortlessly consumes buildings and roads, turning infrastructure into fuel for the fire. When that molten rock hits the ocean, it triggers a massive chemical reaction, creating suffocating steam planes filled with glass particles and hydrochloric acid. These forces are instantly lethal. In Greenland, falling glaciers trigger tsunamis that can wipe out a coastline in minutes, while avalanches in the mountains can suddenly veer towards observers with enough force to level a forest. When these macro-environmental forces are unleashed at scale, they move with a weight and temperature that human engineering cannot contain. But these events occur with terrifying suddenness. In Arizona, a driver found himself chased by a rogue dust devil that actively altered its course to stay on his tail. In Iraq, massive walls of airborne dust move across the desert at high speeds, swallowing entire facilities and plunging cities into total darkness within seconds. The sheer weight of the earth is just as volatile. In India, massive landslides can shift the side of a mountain in an instant, burying major highways and permanently changing the local landscape. Even biology can overrun us. On Christmas Island, the annual migration of 100 million crabs takes over every road and bridge, forcing human transit to a halt as the island's ecosystem claims priority. The Earth operates as a volatile, deeply complex system that frequently overrides human logic. We remain observers to its power, witnessing the 1 in a billion moments that rewrite reality.